So, hey, MAGA, and to those that like to put little comments down in my comment section of my videos, calling me fat. Yeah, I am. I am. See, I'm not afraid to show my face. I'm not afraid to show who I am. I'm confident in who I am. It took me 48 years to get here. Actually, a little bit longer. Because, see, my ex was removed forcibly from my house back in 2013 after he assaulted our 5.5-year-old daughter. Yeah. And the 10 years of marriage that I had with him was horrific, to the point that it scares me to look too far into that recent site that came up about husbands who were drugging and raping their wives, because he likely did that to me. Because where I was 4 weeks pregnant, we hadn't had sex for over 6 months. Yeah, I'm putting that out there. I don't trust easily. I don't do a lot of things I used to do anymore. I miss my baby girl because she is not the baby girl she used to be. And I don't see her much anymore. Because some of you know that messes your head up, and she adored her father before that. I messed up one relationship for him with another woman who had a beautiful 6-year-old daughter. No, it wasn't jealousy. It was, oh my God, he just called her daughter Princess. And I contacted the detective that handled our case. And she went immediately to his parents' house where he had been staying in their basement, and informed her that this was not the ravings of a maniacal ex-wife who was just hell-bent on jealousy. This was somebody who was looking out for her daughter and for her, because he was physically abusive as well. He was also verbally abusive, and he had stories to tell his friends on how horrific I was. That woman thanked the detective, gathered her things, and asked if she would walk her and her daughter to her car. And the detective did. They're out there. They are married men. My kids didn't do sleepovers like normal kids. Not after that. I can't warn you enough about these people. And he was a conservative guy. He loved the conservatives. I choose the bear. I live with a man who has become my best friend, who is twice the size of my ex-husband, and who took pity on me and my children when my ex-husband kept trying to abscond with my children. He had been abused by a woman prior, his wife, ex-wife now. They were ex back in 2015. She likes to remind me that she filed for the divorce, which is fine. I've offered to meet with her over coffee to discuss the living arrangement here, but her fantasy took over. And she has a whole narrative for us that is really exciting, and I'm hoping she'll put it into writing form a little bit more than she already has, because I would really like to know what my life looks like. My daughter disappeared. And this woman said it was because I chose her ex-husband over my children. I'm not his girlfriend. I was your distraction. You met his girlfriend. I'm not her. You probably should have met me for that coffee. But it is what it is. And I really don't care about her fantasies. But it is because of her actions, along with my ex-husband, that my daughter was in need of specific care that I could not get for her anymore, because this woman stepped in with her fantasy and had a lot of benefits that helped me to provide for my daughter without asking for more benefits. Make it make sense. There are jealous people out there who don't want certain people in their lives, and this woman is included. She divorced him. But like clockwork, the narcissism kicks in, and they need to make sure they have that other person still there, even if it's in an abusive manner. And because she raised the issue of the narcissism, I filled in the blanks for him, and I said, you need to figure this out, and you need to just answer what is pertinent, what is in your control, what is a legitimate request for answers. And now that his son is a full-grown adult and had the role model he had, and his father was not able to participate in the parenting of him, she believes they have no contact with one another. I have a secret. But with that said now, she's still living in her fantasy land, has gone on to write a letter that essentially is a veiled threat, not a physical violence, although she is capable of it. And she's not happy. And writes several times how she's not jealous. But she is. I merely live here. I pay rent here. I keep the area clean because I do stay at home. I'm a 61-year-old woman with complex PTSD and PTSD from other things that have happened in my life. And she's just a very sad woman who's alone. I know she's got mental issues, and I feel very bad for her. I pity her. But I got help, and can't imagine why she can't get help. But hey, I'm fat. I'm 61. I have body issues from repeated beatings and a couple of car accidents, and The most recent accident was that a very large dog of mine pulled me off my feet and took me for a flight, literally, and my face broke the fall. Now, you might be able to see some of this. And I broke out my tooth, and as a result, I lost about a quarter of my tongue. And yeah, there were cancerous cells. And that's the only way they found the lesion under my tongue. I wasn't looking for it. So look under your tongue. It turns up in the strangest of places. But to you, MAGA, who have pointed out my fatness, you're the ones that don't show your face. You're the ones that hide behind a keyboard. You're the ones that feel that insecure that you got to point out the issues for other people while not showing yourself. Now, like I said, I have offered to meet with this woman, but I understand the nature of narcissism. And yeah. I'm not saying we could have been friends, but at least she could have understood that this was a way for him to be able to afford to get his car back on the road, to be able to eat healthy food, to be able to pay his bills. Just saying. And eventually it will go to court with the CRA. And he's got to sue as well because they have us as common law now. His girlfriend's a little upset about that. Only a little. Because she's my best friend. And they met when she helped me move in. I love when people step in shit sometimes. Y'all have a nice day. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe.